Just stay put. Stay. This is a peep butt. Do you have anything to say, peep butt? Nothing. Useless. Okay. Welcome back to the video, aka my feral trash canda feral time, because this is exactly what this is. This is literally self-indulgence because I find toys that I really like and need an excuse to buy them, or else my dad gets mad saying you don't need this. But if I say it's for a project and a YouTube video, then there's less excuses. So this is gonna be that dog that I found and cleaned in the things that did with me, or get things done with me video. I don't know what they're called, but I found it. I've never seen it before. It was very intrigued. I love intriguing toys, so let's give it a little makeover. First things first, I did learn what this thing was. It's from a brand that is, or it's from a toy line that's called I Heart V.I.P pets. I've never heard of them. I've never seen them in Walmart, but apparently they were a thing about 4 or 5 years ago. Who knew? I didn't. I usually try to keep up with the toy things. Never heard of this thing. So my idea for this girl is a winter style dog, just kind of more of embracing the winter. So a bunch of glitter, very diva-y. I always imagine winter very sassy, kind of gets its way, not necessarily taking no for an answer. Oh, no, I'm not going to do that. And then it's okay, sure. So her hair, I knew I really wanted to give this dog an over-the-top hairstyle because she was screaming diva, winter, gems, the whole 9 yards. And I wanted to give her this really big top twist knot bun. I believe that's what they're called. That's what I'm going to be referring them to. If that's incorrect, I'm so sorry. So she's already been cleaned, and I'm just going to start brushing her hair out. And I'm thinking of how I want to do this. I know I want to give her some big twists, and the original idea was that this hair is going to be damaged. So I thought I would end up having to cut a whole bunch of it off. So I drew a smaller hairstyle and with smaller braids coming off. And actually, because I ended up twisting it, a lot more was able to be saved because I didn't have to cut the ends off because the ends were just incorporated into the twist. So the hairstyle kind of got bigger and grander because I had more hair to work with. I also didn't want to change her hair color because, again, for me it was very winter themed. I always think of winter like pastels and very lighter colors, and she was a sweets themed doll, so I think of I always associate winter with candy canes or very pastel colors, specifically because pastel sweets are always in Hobby Lobby for decorations, and that's just something I always associate winter with. Because for me, those are gingerbread houses and not necessarily something that's just Christmas. For me, that's a symbol of winter. Like how a heart is a symbol of Valentine's Day along with roses and kissy faces. A gingerbread house is just a symbol for winter. It doesn't necessarily have to be just Christmas or just a specific holiday in that time. So I was okay with keeping her festive colored hair for that reason. Other people might not have the same opinion, and that's okay. You can get your own little dog, and I'd love to watch you guys do one too. Or just different concepts you come up with, because I really like this one. Yeah, and I'll also see, while I'm brushing this out, I'll go over a bit more of why I think winter is so sassy, because I'm sure some people see it as a very harsh and very rude personality, but I think that is just where I live, that the weather here is very bipolar. This morning, it was very cold. We needed a jacket, and by the afternoon, a lot of people were in tank tops and shorts. So I see it very sassy, being oh yeah, well no. The yes, no girl, being you're in and out. Always that thing. The hair is officially done. I did end up having to throw a lot of it away, but again, I wasn't that surprised. Usually dolls with very long hair, or dolls that are made for hair play in mind, kids usually go ham on those, and again, this is secondhand, so I wasn't necessarily that surprised that I did have to throw a large chunk of hair away on this one. But a lot of it was able to be saved and doing it to twists. The way I ended up doing the twists is sectioning a small piece of the hair out. I didn't do, on some of my dolls, I ended up doing going in with one plug and twisting or braiding that. This one didn't have that much hair to do that with, so I ended up just sectioning off what I thought was a decent section. Some larger, some smaller. The two up front were going to be the largest sections because those were going to be like the accent pieces. So I wanted those to be a lot larger and a lot more in your face. So everything else was smaller than that, but sectioned off really neatly so there's no hairs crossing in between as much as I could. And I ended up just dividing the section, dividing it in half, and then just twisting over and over and over again. It's simpler than a braid, and it's just really, you just twist, and once you get to the end, I end up using like little rubber bands made for hair. Again, camera ended up dying because I do things repetitively for hours. Surprise, surprise. And now I kind of get to the point where I needed to figure out how I'm going to do this big bun, because now there's more hair than I was originally thinking there was going to be. So whatever it was couldn't be too large because it didn't have that much hair left. Like there were still quite a few bald spots on it because of the specific style I went to. There was going to be always something different about it. So I went through a few things. I thought about maybe asking my dad to 3D print like a sphere to put on there. And then I had the idea of, well, maybe I could steal one of Addie's balls and take that apart. And then I was like, well, that might be a bit dangerous because she's really into her balls and toys and stuff. So I was like, eh. But then I realized my hoarding, my trash panda skills came in contact. Miniverse. I love mini things. I have so many I need to put together, but Miniverse specifically comes in capsules. I don't have any right now, which is surprising next to me, but they come in round capsules, and there's about 3 sizes right now. Appliances come in like the extra large ones because the appliances are bigger. These are about 1/6 scale, so everything is about Barbie sized or can be used for Barbies. It kind of gives you an estimate. I'm sure everyone's already seen like the Miniverse and what size the balls are, but appliances come in like the super big ones, and then like the regular ones, like the regular series, like Birthday, other series, SpongeBob. Minecraft's a cube, but about the same size. It comes in like the regular size balls, and then their cafe series, whatever reason, come in smaller balls. Yeah, about that size. And I realized I had 1 cafe ball left, so I got that, and it was the perfect size for the base of the bun. So again, with my hot glue styling skills, I ended up gluing the ball onto the head and then just taking one strand at a time and wrapping it around until the whole ball was covered. I ended up having a few. I knew I wanted to leave a few at the crown, not the accent pieces, to go around the very base just to make it look a lot nicer. So I purposely left some of the very top ones out. So I worked my way back to forward, which I think is how you do it. I don't know, it's been a while since I've been in school. It looks really good. Unfortunately, like the little black rubber bands were really starting to bother me, but I was like, don't worry, I have the perfect solution for that. I went in and got into my hoard of jewels that I have, because my other obsession is taking apart prom dresses and other things for all their shinies. Man, I'm a raccoon and a crow. I'm all the animals in the dumpsters. Okay, but I jumped into my jewel stash and I ended up finding ones that are kind of weirdly shaped, kind of just like shoo. That shape, yes. You have to make the noise too, Izzy. But I ended up using those to just cover all of the black rubber bands. And it kind of worked out to kind of be a pattern. How, I don't know, but it ended up looking really nice. And I had some of these large circle diamonds still in there. So I ended up hot gluing those on at each of the ends, at one end of the point on the swooshy diamonds. And then I had 2 gems in this weird regular diamond shape. I thought I had more. I only had 2, so I had to take one off the head because I accidentally hot glued it on there. But anyway, had 2. I ended up using them as little clips for the side of her head, which I thought were super cute. And for her accent braids, they ended up being too long, so I ended up hot gluing them to the back. So instead of just flying freely like I thought they would eventually, they end up just kind of being loops. which I think is also still really cute. And I think that really does make it so like she could walk and be like a realistic hairstyle. Realistic. To cover those black rubber bands, I ended up getting some petal shaped jewels that I had and just making a flower decal over that, which I thought was really pretty. Really proud of that. Now on to the dreaded dictator. She also sat on these eyebrows too. I cleaned the face off of this one just because I wanted to totally redo it, because I knew I wanted to give her a different eyeshadow. I was changing the whole theme. The weird yellow didn't work for me at all. I didn't think this dog needed any yellow in its design, so I totally scrapped that. I took the outfit off. She does have the tiniest bit of colored thing left over from her outfit on her back, but you don't ever see it because her hair is so long and droopy, so I left it because you didn't know. So I was painting this the same day I was painting Martha May's doll, and that was the morning I had just buried my ferret. So I was pretty sad and not necessarily wanting to face my feelings, so I was doing other things to distract myself, and I wanted a sassy look, and unfortunately I think my sadness kind of came out in this idea unintentionally, because I think she looks kind of like a pouting puppy, kind of like with those big dog eyes, like she's almost about to cry, to me at least. So I'm just gonna build that into her character and say that's what she does when she doesn't get what she wants. Like if she's going up to Summer and Summer's like, no, I'm lounging by the pool, and she goes, what? But don't you what? Like, she has mastered the puppy dog gaze versus anyone else. So she's just good at it. That's what I'm going with. You cannot change my story. But yes, that is the real reason and the fake reason why she kind of looks not as sassy as I would like her to. Anyway, I would love to find, on a happier note, I would love to find more dogs of these, because I do think it would be fun to do like different seasons, and maybe if I find enough, maybe even like different holidays or just smaller ones for those holidays. I never knew this brand, didn't even know it existed. Maybe I'll find some more, maybe I won't, but I really like small obscured brands and customizing really small obscured brands. Poopsie Unicorn is one that before I was doing YouTube or even like social media, like Instagram and Facebook, I collected all of those all secondhand, and I found another one secondhand and customized that one. It's still one of the collections I display, it's just not up here. I'll make Izzy insert a picture of it, but I was really proud of that one. But I just think it would be fun like that. I also had my dad 3D print and make a custom stand for her, because the bun ended up being so heavy, she ended up just falling over because it's just so much weight in the back, even with that ball being super light in as the base. Just all the hair and all the gems and all of like the disproportionate just made her fall back. So thankfully he was able to print her a stand. And fun fact, I've been collecting toys for a while. It's just kind of cycled in, so when I would get over something, for like this one, for example, is I am a big Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan, and when I was in middle/high school, the 2012 Turtle toys came out. I loved them. I got a lot of them, and my dad, I liked them so much, my dad 3D printed stands for me with like the gear and like the names, like Raphael would have Raphael, like Dog Pound would have Dog Pound, Krang would have Krang on it. Oh my gosh, it was amazing. So he basically did that for this dog. But yeah, once I get over something, I'll give it away or try to sell it or just whatever. But I've been collecting for a while of just different things. So finishing touches now that we have the doll stand. I'm not going to do anything with it because I don't have anything I particularly want to add or subtract from it. It's just doing its job. I might eventually go back and maybe add some stuff, but for now it's fine. I think it matches with their fur color really well. I do just want to add a few earrings and some bracelets and a few necklaces. For the chain necklace, I wanted to do like a couple droopy ones so it had some weight. So I ended up taking some silver embroidery thread and braiding that together and putting some glue on it so there's nothing fraying anymore on that. And that's just going to be the layered chains. And then for the more chunky, like accent jewel tone ones, I'm going to take... Oh my gosh. Okay. Confession time. I love the Goodwill outlet because I can go, and I found these jeans with sparkles all the way around. They're like bell-bottom jeans, and I could just pluck the sparkles off the jeans without having to spend money on the jeans. So we're gonna take some of those chain sparkles from the jeans and put it on the dog. We're gonna take the pliers and just cut them off, which I learned were pliers and not tweezers. So very happy about that. And then she's pretty much done. I was, again, really happy with her. But, like, she's not totally done. Because, again, this is just kind of my chaos raccoon trash video for myself. So I'm throwing in a small repaint. It didn't take very long. Trust me. It's a duck! So for Christmas, my family all got blind bags for these Tamagotchi characters, mainly for my sister and her friend Rebecca. But I ended up getting this weird little green guy with a balloon, and I couldn't pawn it off on anyone. I tried so hard to get her to take this thing. She had it once, and then she's like, "Oh no, you can have it. You like small things." She gave it back. So now I'm just stuck with this ugly green thing, and I was like, you know what? Fine. I'll just turn it into a duck, because it looks like a duck. So this very specific duck with the lemonade stand song is what I'm basing this off of.
A duck walked up to a lemonade stand and he said to the man, "Run in the stand.
FBI, open up!"
So it's a duck with a grape balloon. Yes, I am that child. Thank you. And I'm giving it to the dog because, you know, maybe she hates the heat, so she never goes out in summer and spring. So maybe she just never sees ducks. So maybe they're like reindeer for her. Just like these magical, weird creatures. No, so I think it's really funny that this weird, sassy diva is just like obsessed with ducks for whatever reason. Maybe it's because she saw like the Jeep trend with all like the ducks and she's like, ducks are it. But she just has this weird little duck figurine. You know, so maybe I'll put her like, give her like a little duck charm if I find like the little plastic ducks that like, people hide around people's houses. Like, I've seen a bunch of kids put them around their parents' houses. Like, I had 1,000 ducks in my parents' house. If I find one of those, I'll definitely make it into a hairpin and give it to her and post it on Instagram. But, like, I love the fact that she's obsessed with ducks. That wraps up the video. Thank you so much for watching. This is just very much a self-indulgence one. Again, I love weird doll lines that I don't really see. It's kind of hard to see something that I at least know of. So to see something like that is very fun for me. And I always love learning new things. So thank you for coming along with this. Hopefully you enjoyed this bit of random self-indulgence. If you liked actually this wasn't very much feral raccoon. I just dumped into a bunch of my stash. But I have a lot more feral ones if you want to watch that. But bye guys! I'm gonna go lie in some garbage now. Bye guys!